No.
You can take them off of the tree before you put it in your mouth.
Hi guys, my name is Marie and welcome to my Kawaii world! And happy Hearts Day! That's what Valentina says for Happy Valentine's Day, so I hope that you're having a great Valentine's Day. In today's video, I am going to take you back. I was looking at some of my old video footage and I found this old video of my family and I when we went to Nagano to see the snow monkeys and to pick some cherries. And what really struck me about the video was how young my kids were. Valentina must have been about 8 or 9 months old and Sienna was about 3 years old. Every mom probably feels this way, but like time just slips out of her hands and it goes by so quickly. As for this trip to Nagano, I'm not sure why we went there because I'm terrified of monkeys. When I went to like some park, I can't remember where it was, I saw this monkey get kind of aggressive with a tourist. Ever since then I've been terrified of monkeys, so I had no desire to see the snow monkeys up close and personal. But I think that the reason that we went on this tour was because my husband wanted to see the monkeys and there was this all-you-can-eat cherry picking following the trip to the Snow Monkey Park, which is definitely something that appeals to my family, so that's probably why we went. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's go check it out. I think that our intent when planning this trip was to get out of our normal everyday weekend routine of playing claw machines and just do something different and memorable together. But when you have 2 young kids and you take them on a 3-hour bus ride for a day trip, it can either be really fun or a total disaster. And I think that kids tend to thrive on having a routine, and I'm also a big believer in nap time. So when you're gone on this kind of all-day outing, it could be a little bit risky, but it can also be really worthwhile.
It's okay. You do it? I'm gonna eat it later.
What is that? Show me. So cute.
Oh, I'll help you with this. Well, somebody's been shaking it a lot.
Mini chocolate.
In Japan, wherever they sell bento boxes for travel, like at a rest stop or a train station, try to keep an eye out for these cute boxes that come in a reusable bento box. They are usually for kids, but they're really cute and we actually still use this one.
Happy. It says happy.
We're not gonna to see the snow monkeys during the summer. No public toilet ahead. Okay, alright, let's go.
Before I had kids, I was pretty adventurous and I loved to travel with my husband, but after I became a mom, I really took comfort in my daily routine and just my everyday life. And in some of my videos, it may seem like we're doing exotic things, but when we lived in Japan, we didn't leave Japan, and now that we're in Korea, we actually haven't left the country yet. We still take our kids on little trips like this, but you won't see us getting on a 10+ hour flight unless we really have to.
There's no guardrail. There's about a 1 mile hike, right?
Yeah.
1 mile hike to go to the Snow Monkey Park from like this too.
There's mommy.
Almost there. Almost there, Bun Bun. Okay. We're getting close. You could smell the sulfur from the hot springs.
I say this because I don't want you to think that I do really exotic things. Like when we were on this trip to Nagano, we were 3 hours from our home in Tokyo and we went by bus, and that was kind of a big deal with kids the age that ours were at the time. So don't be fooled by those Instagram photos. You can still make amazing memories with your family by just going somewhere that's an hour away from home that your kids have never been to before. And so maybe if you live in Orange County, that will be like driving an hour to San Diego or something. And that can still be a really special and memorable trip. So we just walked about 40 minutes on a hike with my 2 kids. Sienna walked most of the way. She did a great job. And we finally arrived at the monkey park.
See the monkeys?
So these are the same monkeys that are known as snow monkeys, and that's because you see them in the winter time bathing in the Japanese onsen or hot springs, but you can also see them in the summer. The crazy thing for me was how they were just wandering around in the open with no guardrails, so they could totally interact with humans, which I thought was crazy. I was a little bit afraid that they might attack us, so I kept Valentina like close and tried to keep her covered, but they didn't attack us. There are a few rules when you visit the park. You're not supposed to feed or touch the monkeys, and also you're not supposed to use flash photography. And another one, you're not supposed to make eye contact with the monkeys because they might think that you're challenging them in some way. Most people visit this area during the winter time so that they can see the monkeys bathing in the onsen, and that is probably a really cool sight. But we decided not to go at that time because it would be really cold, and as you saw, we had to hike about 20 to 40 minutes to get from the parking lot to this park, and that would have been really difficult and not a good experience if we did it when it was freezing cold. During the summer, the temperature is actually perfect because while it's really hot in Tokyo during like June, July, and August, this park is located at a higher elevation, so it's much cooler. So I thought that this was a great time to visit the park. And also there are probably a lot fewer people because the winter time is the peak season to see these snow monkeys.
You want to touch it, Sienna?
No.
You want to eat it?
No. I have a play right there. Can I have that up there? I want that. I want that. Mom, I want
The mommy and the baby monkey. Make it. Grape pocky. Giant grape. This is gonna be good. Nagano has the best flavors. Grape and apple are my favorite flavors. We have Shinshu apple Kitokato. Oishiso. Ringo. Shinshu Ringo. Comes with 12 mini Kit Kats. This was expensive. This was like 900 yen. But oishiso. Yes, this looks really good. you can eat cherries. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some cherries. All you can eat cherries. Oh, there's some right here. Take them off of the tree before you put it in your mouth. Just eat them off.
Yep. Eat it. And spit the seed out, okay? Just put it on the ground. Yeah. Oh.
And I like this cherry too.
Good?
Good. Oh, she's so very cute.
What are the other cherries? Sienna, these are regular red cherries. Try it. Pull out like this, Sienna.
What do you think?
Oh, not on the floor.
All you want's on the tree.
He's like, leave me alone, let me eat my cherries.
Abby, what'd you share? She's claimed this tree.
Come on, Sienna, this way. You too?
When you're a mom with young kids, as much as you try to be present, I feel like, for me anyway, life back then was such a blur. I was sleep deprived, and I just felt like once I had Valentina, it got progressively harder to take care of my kids until maybe Valentina turned about 2.5. But before then, I was always in survival mode. So, to the mom of young children, if you are watching this, do yourself a favor. When you're playing on a normal day, just take out that video camera or whatever camera you have and set it up in the playroom or living room or wherever you're spending a lot of your time, and just turn it on and film the everyday interactions you have with your kids. Where you play with them, kiss them, hug them, smell them, just film it. You don't have to have your makeup on or have changed out of your pajamas or yoga pants. I promise you that 3 or 5 or 10 years down the line, you will watch that video and you will cry, and you will just really treasure it, as I do this video. I didn't film a lot of the everyday moments despite my intent, and I really treasure videos like this about our trip to Nagano because my kids are now 3 years older, and I can't go back in time to this chubby Valentina and the Sienna who's still learning how to talk like a big girl. Those years are gone and that time has passed, and I'm happy with my kids as they are now, but I also really miss these days in a way.
Got all these reindeer cherries that you could just pull out like this, Sienna. Look.
That was really good. They're expensive here, I wonder. Oh, these are like the premium cherries. $90 for this box of cherries. Those are cherries, those are like premium only yellow cherries.
$100?
Crazy. That was really good.
2 cherries for $5.
Wow. So full.
She's gonna mean it. Show her face. Sorry. It's all my fault. 3, 2,
November.